Hi guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of if money wasn't a concern, how would your lifestyle change? Well, money is so important in today's society. We live literally in the Western world where most people, well, if they need to live normally and not be homeless, well, they need to get a job. They need to work for a company. They need to find some sort of income source. Otherwise, you can't live. But how would your life change if you didn't have that? If you didn't need all these things? If you didn't need to be able to pay for stuff? Everything was given to you. Well, I think a lot of things would change. I think people would not want to work as much as they are right now, because literally people are working 40 hours a week on average, and if you don't do that, well, you can't afford rent, especially if you live in a city like Los Angeles where everything is super duper expensive. But I do think that if I didn't have money, I would probably, well, if I didn't have the need for money, I would say, I would definitely probably be much more artistic. I'd dedicate much more of my life towards the things that I like to do, and I would have also a lot more free time. So I would not get up as early as I do now. I still would get up early because I do like to use my day, but I might stay in bed an extra half an hour or an extra hour and probably stay up much later because, well, I think my natural rhythm is like that. And I think a lot of people would be the same too. Of course, everybody has natural rhythm, but at the same time, the thing is that, well, we are kind of enslaved in this whole system where we have to pay taxes, we have to make money, we have to pay bills, and that's kind of like the price that you pay for having the comfort of having a rooftop over your head. But in essence, we are animals, and as animals, as mammals, well, we don't really work. We shouldn't be working. We should be hunting. We should be gathering. We should be living in community because that's our instinct. But we shouldn't be so worried about having the latest trend in clothes or having the nicest car or having the biggest property possible. Land is here all over the world, and there's so much land to be given in some way. There's so much emptiness in this world. So sometimes it's kind of ridiculous how things are there right in front of our nose, yet we work for 30 years plus to pay off the debt of one little small square footage condo because of money. But I do think that a lot of times, if we didn't have this restraint, it might be good, but at the same time it might be bad, because look at all the people who come from wealthy families and, for example, they don't need to work. Some people are lucky in those families and they actually have a passion and they do have some desire to do stuff, so they do things. They start businesses, they are very prolific and all that, but then there's a big majority of them that say they want to do things, but at the same time it's so easy for them to have everything they want whenever they wanted that they're not really living in the same world as us. It's kind of wasted sometimes, I feel, because, well, you have all this time on your hands, you have all this money available, yet you're still not trying your best to do things. And if you did half of what a regular person would have to do in order to get what they're getting, well, they would be 10 times millionaires compared to what they have now. So that's the thing, and that's what I'm scared of sometimes. If I didn't have the need for money, would I necessarily have the same drive that I have now? Because you know that if you don't work, well, you're going to be in the street. Nobody's going to help you. That's it. And it also kind of makes you want to not get injured. It makes you want to stay healthy. Makes you want to stay sane. So it's a double-edged sword. And at the same time, what's weird is, for example, you'll see other people that actually don't have that money constraint. People who built their empire, built their company, and they're doing very well, yet they still want to make more money, see? So they don't really have a need for it, but they want to make more. And they say, oh, because I have a lifestyle to stay that it needs to be, cared for. But at the same time, if you're thinking about it, well, okay, a lifestyle, you need a boat, you need big mansions everywhere, I don't know. So you prefer to give up time in order to work more so that you can have your boat. I think that they actually enjoy it. I think that they actually enjoy making that money. And it's an excuse to say, I need to maintain the lifestyle. It's like, yeah, they want to maintain the lifestyle, but they also enjoy that thrill, that desire, that want, that need to be part of something bigger than they are, that be something part of the world in some way. And that's what I'm saying, is that it's very double-edged sword. But I do think that there's a difference between someone who is born into wealth and someone who made his wealth, and someone who's also born in between wealth and not having to work. I do think that the people who are born in too much wealth and have it too easy tend to sometimes get a little bit lazy, except that they're blessed with that whole thing that they say that they have that drive, but most of the time they don't. And that's the sad part, because then we're never happy. Either we have the money, we're not happy. You don't have the money, you're not happy. You're in between, you're not happy. We're never happy. It's kind of like when we look at when it's cold, when it's hot. Well, there's no in between. Every time it's like, this is too hot, this is too cold. I hate the winter, I hate the summer, I hate everything. So it's kind of like, well, what do you like? There's nothing that's perfect in this world. And if it is, it's just 1 degree up, 1 degree down. And then every human being has a different desire, has a different want, has a different level of what they consider cold, hot, good, bad, wealthy, not wealthy, poor, not poor. Everybody's desires are so different that it's impossible to cater to all of them. It's impossible to desire everything and have everything. So no matter what we do, I guess we're screwed. So just make the best out of the things. Work as hard as you can to do the things that you like, or at least semi-like, so at least you can find some form of happiness. And at the same time, well, I don't know. Maybe not having money and not being born in wealth is a blessing in disguise sometimes, because unless you're super duper duper poor, but if you're in between middle class, then you have at least some form of drive, then maybe you might be blessed, because then you actually do want to have more for yourself, so you have that drive that pushes you to do more and more and more, and eventually, hopefully you succeed. And then once you succeed, then you tell yourself, well, maybe I enjoyed it, and this gives me a purpose in life. It's kind of like when you do have a purpose, if you have to paint your room, if you have to build something, if you have to, you have a bunch of errands to do and stuff like that. Well, the reason that it's not that bad to do these things is that when you have these things to do, well, you're on a mission. So when you're on a mission, well, you don't have time to get bored. You don't have time to get depressed. You just enjoy life in some way, and you just do. So just do things and don't think so much about money, not money, I guess. And that's it. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.